Today, we are going to discuss some of the data mining applications and the things that we should keep in mind while deciding on the data mining technique. Also, we will discuss some of the data visualizations tools that we can use for the end user. Data mining application or data mining technique ka decision is not an easy one to take. It depends upon a lot of factors like the data available, like the format in which the data is available. Depending upon the requirement, we decide upon which data mining technique that we are going to use so that it is effective in our decision making. Some of the applications of the data mining are as follows. The first application of data mining that we are going to discuss is in the banking sector. बैंकिंग सेक्टर जो है वो ऑफलाइन से ऑनलाइन मूव कर चुका है. इट इज़ एक्सेसिबल एनीवेयर at any time, so it is becoming more competitive. Data mining plays a huge role in the growth of the banking sector, जिससे उसको नए कस्टमर्स मिलते हैं, एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर्स को रिटेन कर पाता है, नई सर्विसेज को ऑफर कर पाता है. So let us see some of the areas in which the data mining can be used in the banking sector. The first one is the credit policy analysis, which means कि आपको एक कस्टमर को लोन देना है या क्रेडिट देना है या नहीं देना है. Launching of the new saving schemes, depending upon what kind of a customer that you have, the amount of savings he does, the amount of bank balance he has or she has, saving schemes उसको ऑफर की जाती हैं. Irregularities अगर आप कोई फाइंड आउट कर पा रहे हैं थ्रू द एनालिसिस, then those analysis can be done to find out if there exists big irregularities in any of the banking, you can say, tasks. The last one is the classification of the customers for marketing. जब हम मार्केटिंग करते हैं तो कौन से कस्टमर के लिए क्या ऑफर है या क्या मार्केटिंग करनी है उसके बारे में भी डिसीजन लिए जाते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज डेटा माइनिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स फॉर द रिटेल इंडस्ट्री. just like banking, retail industry is now again from offline it has come to the online mode. तो रिटेल इंडस्ट्री में भी आप कस्टमर को क्या प्रोडक्ट रिकमेंड करना चाहते हैं, क्या ऑफर देना चाहते हैं. जब वो एक प्रोडक्ट देख रहा है तो क्या उसके साथ उसको कोई प्रोडक्ट दिखाना चाहते हैं, एंड सो मेनी थिंग्स. Some of the areas of data mining in the retail industry is market basket analysis that you have already done. Market basket analysis refer to the analysis of the products which are bought together, जिनको हम लोग एक साथ खरीदते हैं. कस्टमर कितना हम लोग रिटेन कर पा रहे हैं, कितना कस्टमर हमें छोड़ रहा है, या कौन सा कस्टमर बहुत देर से हमारे से बाय नहीं कर रहा है. What kind of an advertisement campaign that we need to follow. We should be able to identify the items a customer might be interested. Recommender system, जैसे वो प्रोडक्ट्स हमसे खरीदता है, जैसे वो प्रोडक्ट्स को देखता है, based upon that we can recommend the items to a customer. Then analysis of the data from multiple views or dimensions. The third one is data mining for the mobile companies. Nowadays there is a throat cut competition in mobile companies. You can see the tariffs have come down, the offers are there. We are moving from a 2G space to almost 5G space. So what are the different data analysis that we can perform in mobile sector are ऑफर्स ऑफ द टॉप अप्स. हम मल्टी डिमेंशनल एनालिसिस कर पाते हैं कि किस कस्टमर को किस टॉप अप की जरूरत पड़ती है, कब उसका जो रेगुलर प्लान खत्म हो रहे हैं, कितने लोगों का रेगुलर प्लान कितने पीरियड में खत्म होता है, तो उन्हें किस तरह के टॉप अप्स ऑफर करने चाहिए. फ्रॉड पैटर्न डिटेक्शन, There's so much of analysis happening where there are fraudulent practices being followed. So detection of those. Next is what kind of internet packs can be offered to the users which have a higher internet usage. What kind of add-on services can be given? What should be the price of those add-on services? The last one is the retention rate, or on the contrary, the churn rate, the amount of customers we are able to retain and the number of customers those who leave us. Other than these three, there are a number of areas in which data mining जो है it can be used. For example, insurance. We can use data mining in insurance. One of the biggest sector is pharmaceutical uh, industry, in which data mining plays a huge role. After the applications, it is very important that we should be able to decide the right data mining technique for our problem. So some of the factors that determine कि आपको कौन सी data mining technique use करनी है. The first one is data type. The type of data in our hand. It can be in the text format, it can be pictures, it can be traditional normalized relational database, or it can be multi-dimensional data. So depending upon what type of data we have, what type of problem is in our hand, we can decide the data mining technique. The next is system issues. So what kind of a system is available with us? What is the host operating system? What are the data mining softwares that we are going to use? These all actually help us in deciding the kind of system that we need to put for the data mining. So we know that Windows is a very popular office system and a household operating system, but you still may prefer some other operating system like Unix or Linux or other softwares for the data mining. The next is data source connectivity. The data mining system must support open database connections. So there are a huge set of open database connections available with us. We can use the DB2, which is offered by IBM. You can use the Microsoft's SQL Server, Oracle, or Sybase. So your data mining application should be able to offer easy connection, and you can say seamless connection with these databases. The next is complete support for a data mining function. Data mining function or methodology, one of the same thing, are the nucleus of a data mining system. So it is important that we are able to provide support for all kinds of functionalities and not just for one or two functions. For example, consider a data mining system that supports classification. It may either support only one method such as decision tree and may not support the other classification methods. Such a data mining application is not of a great use. So you should use an application actually that provides support to all types of data mining functions. Scalability, that is a huge point. Scalability refers to the increase in the domain or the size of the problem without affecting the performance of the system. डेटाबेस फॉर एनालिसिस. जब आप डेटाबेस की बात कर रहे हैं, आप एक सिस्टम तैयार कर रहे हैं, तो बेसिकली यू आर एनालिसिस परफॉर्मिंग एनालिसिस ऑन अ लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ डेटा विच इज ग्रोइंग एक्सपोनेंशियली. तो अगर आपका डेटाबेस डेली बढ़ता जा रहा है और वो कल बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा हो जाता है, तो यूर एप्लीकेशन शुड बी एबल टू सपोर्ट द एनालिसिस ऑफ दैट डेटा. चाहे आप उसके लिए बिग डेटा एनालिसिस साथ में यूज कीजिए, आप डीप लर्निंग यूज कीजिए, लेकिन इफ योर परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ योर डेटा माइनिंग एप्लीकेशन स्लोज डाउन क्योंकि डेटाबेस का साइज बढ़ रहा है, देन दैट एप्लीकेशन इज ऑफ अ वेरी लिटिल यूज. द लास्ट इज विजुअलाइजेशन टूल्स. जब आप एंड यूजर को एनालिसिस के लिए डेटा देते हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर द एंड यूजर टू सी ऑल दैट डेटा। तो वो क्या चाहते हैं कि एक वन स्क्रीनशॉट में दे आर एबल टू सी अ क्लियर विजन ऑफ व्हाट द डेटा वांट्स टू से। और उसके लिए हमें अलग अलग तरह के विजुअलाइजेशन टूल्स यूज करने पड़ते हैं, जो हम लोग अगली स्लाइड में अगले टॉपिक्स में देखेंगे। तो विजुअलाइजेशन टूल्स जो होते हैं वो ग्राफिकल प्रेजेंटेशन देते हैं, रिप्रेजेंटेशन देते हैं अबाउट द डेटा दैट हेल्प्स द एंड यूजर टू टेक फाइनल डिसीजंस। So what is data visualization? Visual data mining actually क्या है? It contains the useful knowledge from large data sets using visualization techniques. So visual means the representation of interesting patterns such as distributions, patterns, clusters, outliers in a one form. So visualization can be both non-interactive and interactive. जब हम लोग वेब टूल्स की बात करते हैं तो जनरली दे आर इंटरैक्टिव। आप उनके साथ इंटरैक्ट कर सकते हैं, आप खुद इनपुट देख सकते हैं डायनेमिकली, वो अपने स्केल को बड़ा छोटा कर सकते हैं, उसके अंदर आप फील्ड्स सेलेक्ट कर सकते हैं। सो दैट इज कॉल्ड द इंटरैक्टिव डेटा विजुअलाइजेशन। सो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज डेटा विजुअलाइजेशन? Data visualization is graphical demonstration of information with the goal of providing the user, which is the end user, with qualitative understanding of the information content. Like I said, उसको हमें बहुत ही short way में एक information provide करना है, what is the overall scenario within the database. So some of the examples of the data visualization tools are, the first one is called a dendrogram. Dendrogram that you can see at the bottom. This is an example of clustering. ये क्लस्टर का एग्जांपल है, एंड द टाइप ऑफ क्लस्टरिंग जो ये यूज कर रहा है दैट इज हायरार्किकल क्लस्टरिंग। सो व्हाट इज डेंडोग्राम? इट इज यूज्ड विद क्लस्टर एनालिसिस। ये क्लस्टर्स दिखा रहा है आपको, छोटे क्लस्टर्स कैसे अलग अलग क्लस्टर्स हैं और वो कैसे एक होते जा रहे हैं। इनिशियली इट इज एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई स्मॉल क्लस्टर्स जो आपस में ग्रुप टुगेदर कर कर एक सिंपल लार्ज क्लस्टर बनता है। तो डेंडोग्राम जो है उसका ओवरऑल लुक कैसा है? इट लुक्स लाइक अ ट्री स्ट्रक्चर। डेंडोग्राम shows the arrangement of the clusters using hierarchical clustering. Like I said, dendrogram are typically used in computational biology to illustrate the clustering or genes of sampling. किस तरह से genes या samples एक दूसरे के साथ जुड़े हैं, अलग अलग क्लस्टर्स आपस में कैसे जुड़कर एक सिंपल क्लस्टर बना सकते हैं, या एक लार्ज क्लस्टर से आप कैसे ब्रेक करके स्मॉल क्लस्टर्स की तरफ जा सकते हैं, उसके लिए हम यूज करते हैं डेंडोग्राम्स। नेक्स्ट इज प्लॉटिंग हिस्टोग्राम। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू कैन सी द हिस्टोग्राम. It is just a simple relationship between two set of dimensions like the number of students and the number of hours that they spend in the gym. So basically some kind of a value that you can find in this case, that about 35 students spend 6 to 10 hours in the gym, about 17 students spend 11 to 15 hours in a gym. This is a very small example, so it can be for a very bigger problem as well. प्लॉटिंग हिस्टोग्राम क्या है? प्लॉटिंग हिस्टोग्राम एक ऐसा ग्राफिकल मेथड है विच इज यूज्ड फॉर समराइजिंग द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ अ गिवन एट्रीब्यूट। जब हमें एक एट्रीब्यूट्स की वैल्यू दी जाती है तो हम लोग हिस्टोग्राम को यूज करते हैं उसकी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन को फाइंड आउट करने के लिए। हाउ मच डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड इज द वैल्यू फॉर अ गिवन एट्रीब्यूट। जब हम मार्क्स की बात करते हैं तो जनरली स्टूडेंट के मार्क्स 0 से लेके 100 तक हो सकते हैं, तो हाउ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड दे आर, how many students are getting less than 35, how many students are getting more than 90, इस तरह का डाटा समराइजेशन को हम लोग देख सकते हैं with the help of histogram. Histogram for an attribute partitions the data distribution of that attribute into disjoint subsets. अगर किसी स्टूडेंट के 90 से ज्यादा मार्क्स हैं तो डेफिनेटली वो 90 से कम नहीं हो सकते हैं, इसलिए वो डिसजॉइंट सबसेट्स जो हैं वो बन जाते हैं. So this is how we use it. So this is an example of an histogram. Like I have already said, it is between the number of students and the number of hours they spend in a gym. The next is a quantile plot, and you can see the image of the quantile plot at the bottom. It is a simple and effective way to represent univariate data distribution. First, it displays all the data for the given attribute, and then it plots the quantile information. It is a powerful tool in that it allows the user to view whether there is a shift in going from one distribution to the another. You can see kind of a regression type of a thing is there, where the plots have been drawn, and it is representing your patterns, and then it is following one pattern, it is moving in one direction. So like I said, I repeat this thing, it allows the users to view whether there is a shift or not. And there is a definite shift, like you can see it here. The next is scatter plot. The next is scatter plot. Scatter plot kya hai? It is used to determine if there exists a relationship, pattern, और ट्रेंड बिटवीन टू न्यूमेरिकल एट्रीब्यूट्स. ये क्लस्टरिंग में यूज किया जाता है. तो एज इट सेज कि ये एक रिलेशनशिप या पैटर्न और ट्रेंड फाइंड आउट करने की कोशिश करता है बिटवीन टू पॉइंट्स. फॉर एग्जांपल वेट एंड डेज. Okay, so it is showing you the relationship between the two, the relationship between the weight and the days. So once we plot more number of points, it can also be used to find out the clusters or groups. So what are the different clusters that can be there? So it is very simple. Basically, you can plot the points based upon the weight and the days. So these points will be represented throughout this plot. And then one of the applications where we can use the scatter plot is to identify the clusters. The next is the Loess regression curve. So basically, like I said, it is a regression curve. It is an exploratory graphically tool, graphic method. So it is an exploratory graphic method that adds a smooth curve to a scatter plot. So basically what we have a scatter plot. So we are going to convert that scatter plot into a curve in order to provide pattern inside of the pattern of dependency. So you have a scatter plot. Now based upon that scatter plot, we are able to draw one curve. So the curve that you see is the red line, and there is a mean that we calculate. You can see many of the lines are on the top of the curve, and many of lines are there at the bottom of the curve. By computing the mean, and we are able to draw one line through these points. So what is this use of this Loess curve? It is used to get a better insight of the pattern of dependence. The next is very important one, which is called a box plot. Box plot basically divides your data into different, you can say, segments. So box plot incorporates the 5 number summary. Box ends are represented as quartiles, like I said, quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, and quartile 4, so that the box length is the interquartile range, IQR. The median is marked by the line within the box. Two lines called whiskers outside the box extend to the smallest, that is the minimum and the maximum observations. So there you see. So within this total range, as you can see on the screen, so within this total range, what is the maximum value for an attribute is shown by, minimum value is shown by this, and the maximum value has been shown by this. Okay, so this one shows the lowest quartile, this is in the middle, so this is the median, and this one is showing the upper quartile. Okay, so this is what you can say box looks like. And what is about the total range, what about the total range? So this box in itself, the width of this box shows the interquartile range. Okay, so this is a box plot that we use to find apply on different set of problems. So this is the overall, this is how a box plot looks like. The next is tree mapping. It is a method for displaying hierarchical data. Once again we are moving to the hierarchical data by using nested rectangles. So we have one, this is just a kind of a relationship between the different items. Each branch of the tree is shown as a rectangle, which is then tiled with the smaller rectangles representing sub branches. The area of the leaf nodes rectangles is proportional to the specified dimensions of the data, like you can see it here. It is showing some kind of a percentage relationship between the, you can say, items, in which you can see that China, United States have a bigger portion, then you have smaller little clusters that are available and joining it here. So you can use this for different kinds of problems that we have. So at the end of this lecture, the obvious question that comes to our mind is कि ये हमने जो भी डेटा विजुअलाइजेशन टूल्स यूज किए हैं, इनकी एप्लीकेशंस के एग्जांपल्स क्या हैं? सो दैट इज वेयर आप लोगों को काम करना है कि ये जो विजुअलाइजेशन टूल्स हमने यूज किए हैं, लाइक बॉक्स प्लॉट, आपको बॉक्स प्लॉट कहाँ पर यूज होता है उसकी एक एप्लीकेशन को फाइंड आउट करना है। ट्री मैपिंग कहाँ पर यूज हो रही है उसकी एक प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल क्या है, यू हैव टू फाइंड इट आउट फॉर yourself. So there were examples which have been excluded from this lecture because it is a part of an exercise for you to find out various practical data mining applications जहां पर ये दिखाए गए डेटा विजुअलाइजेशन टूल्स यूज हो सकते हैं. So you all are requested to note down these visualization tools and try and find out the different types of problems for which these visualization tools can be used. So in today's lecture, we discussed some of the applications of the data mining and the things that we should keep in mind while deciding what kind of a technique or a tool that we are going to use for data mining, plus the different types of visualization tools that we can use to present our data to the end user. So please do your homework, find out the various applications for which these data visualization tools can be used. In the next lecture, we will see the different methods for data cube computation, one of our topic that we had left. We will continue with that topic. Till then, it's goodbye from my side.